everybody. Welcome to the next episode of JASCHAT. I'm
Hello.
Jo.
I'm Sarah.
And we're JASCHAT.
Today's episode we're going to discuss we went to a disability forum, and one of the organisations that we saw a stall for, which I love, is called Interchange. There are a few different interchanges, but the one that we're talking about eventually going out and talking to some of the people that work there is in Outer East, which is in Ferntree Gully, which is quite close to me. I have spoken to somebody on the phone, and we will be going out to interview them about their different services. But I just thought that we might touch on a few of the things that they do. I've had a look on the website and it's quite impressive. So I just thought we'd discuss a little bit about what they do. So I thought we'd start with the children's services. They've got recreational programs, which include group-based activities and also camps. With their services, they have volunteers one-on-one, which is fantastic, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your Daniel has done a few different recreational activities, hasn't he?
Yes, I do as many as I can in my local area, which is Inner East. And
is that with Interchange as well?
No.
Okay.
I use different services, of which we'll talk about
okay.
later on. But they're very similar to Interchange, and I know that Interchange in my local area are going to start doing what's called clay play, or
Okay.
So cool. I know Saturday, it's a fortnightly thing.
Yeah.
And because they were talking about that at the Ride Expo,
yes,
which is.
I remember you talking to me about it.
Yes, so I sent an expression of interest in. So that's going to be
good.
That's going to be like a whole Saturday morning of just Daniel squishing stuff, clay.
Because I know they have aged activities. So I've got written down here. I was just having a look. The range is between 5 and 17 is considered the children's activities.
Yep.
But then they might have. Let's have a look. Sorry. They might have activities. I think it's up to teens. So they might have, say, 5 to 8 year olds, and then 8 to the teenage. They've got the different age groups, so that the kids are amongst other kids of the same age.
I do know Interchange also provide the flexible support.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they've got paid services.
Yes.
And then, I mean, obviously you pay for these activities as well, but they also then, you can get respite in the home, which is government type funding.
Yes.
If you've got a package for something like that, and any of their things they can do for in a paid service as well. These are more the ones that you would put them into. So they've got the weekend programs. They've got camps. It's saying they have a regular membership sometimes, or you can just do one. We've done a couple of one-off ones with Beth, not for a few years.
So these are what I call dump and run.
Yeah.
So you drop them off,
yeah.
You go have yourself a fun day,
yeah.
And then you pick them up again, and they don't even notice you've gone.
Yeah. They're terrific. We've been to a couple of things, and the volunteers they're just lovely.
Yes.
And I know Beth has loved them. They also have school holiday programs, which are day activities and camps. All of them are run by the Interchange staff and volunteers. The camps are held at accredited campsites, usually between 3 and 5 days. And I've written down the holiday activities include roller skating, swimming, four-wheel driving, or more casual things like going to the zoo or going to the parks. There's a disco held once a month for young people, their friends and siblings. And they also have other activities for siblings. So they have sibling camps, they have sibling support groups.
Yep.
So that, they might have, say, I remember looking into one for my Bill, who's now 13, say for children that were between, say, 5 and 8 that have got a sibling that goes to Interchange. So that then when there's camps, they also know people if there's a family camp, because they run a family camp once a year as well, so that not only the kids that are with the disability, but also the other kids know each other as well. I
Which
think
is
really
absolutely
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really
Because
good.
sometimes I feel bad for Patrick because he never actually usually gets to play with Daniel or
Yeah.
see Daniel in a different setting.
Yeah,
So, and same with me, because yes, holiday programs, it's really good when you drop them off and then you pick them up. But then at the end of the holidays, I go, oh, but I didn't spend any time with Daniel doing
Yeah.
an activity.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really important too.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. And it's often nice for the siblings to see the child with the disability in a different setting and to appreciate what they can do. So to see them if they're doing something that's a little bit different or
Yes.
a little bit challenging for them, and them actually going, oh wow, like your Patty might say, look at what Daniel's doing. I didn't know he could do that, and
Yes.
and they showcase what they are good at, which is really lovely. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah, yeah. One of the other things they do, which is terrific, is they have host families. Now I know there is a waiting list for this, but it's a nice thing that if you've got, I've always, we haven't put Beth's name down for this because I've felt there are people more deserving than us, and Beth isn't so bad that I have felt the need to have a break from her, as in her not to be here for a weekend. I've always felt what it is it's a program that a family or a couple might it's not like a foster situation because it's only one weekend a month, but they will have your child one weekend a month.
Yes.
And they look after them for that weekend. So if you've wanting to do things with your other children, then that means that you can go and do things with those children, and you know that child's being looked after and usually doing fun things with their host family.
Yeah, exactly. You talk about you not needing it. Maybe Beth needs a break from
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know.
I doubt that, but yeah.
Oh, well. But, you shouldn't be unfair on yourself either. I think that having a special needs kid, whether high functioning, low functioning,
Yeah.
every parent deserves some time out.
Yeah.
I mean, she still takes up a lot of your time.
I feel that I get that time out though. I feel like if there were things that we were doing with the other kids, I'd feel bad if Beth wasn't actually with us, because she is able to function
Yes.
within the family and she does enjoy doing family things. And now that the other kids are a little bit older, Paul will often take Bill and Bridie. Well, Beth doesn't really like to go away, and so he might take them out for the day, or he might take them away.
But then, so
camping or
you miss
something.
out though.
But I don't like going away anyway,
Oh,
so it doesn't
okay.
bother me. Beth and I stay at home.
Well, then
and
that's
Paul takes
good,
the
yeah.
other kids, so it's quite a good solution for us. But for other people,
Yes.
I know of people whose children are quite severe, and it really does hamper their family life, and so they can go and do things with their other kids that they can't enjoy doing because of their other child, through no fault of their own. It's just the way it is. So for them, it's fantastic. So I think it's a terrific thing that people are volunteering their time to actually have a child with a disability for a weekend a month. I think it's
Absolutely.
lovely, and they have great relationships. It's like a second family.
Yeah.
For both the family and for the child involved. So some of them do it for many years. So it's lovely. I think it's a really nice idea.
From my point of view, something like that would be important because Daniel is non-verbal, so he can't communicate to us whether he wants to go or not.
Yeah.
But I know deep down he doesn't really. But, sometimes you want Patty to have that feeling of mum and dad and dinner or movie.
Yes.
So in that respect, that would be really good, because then we get to go out and Patty can say,
Yeah.
I went out with mum and dad rather than just dad,
Yeah.
or with mum.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to have that extra time with each child anyway, if you can. And it's not always that easy to do that.
No, it's not.
I know with our kids, there are times that, like, Bill and I will go to the movies, or Bridie and I,
Yeah.
we can go and get our nails done or something like that. So it is just nice to have that one-on-one time.
But even if you're a single parent,
Yeah.
how does that be?
Absolutely. In that situation, they definitely need
Yes.
some time.
Look, I think everybody should take advantage of that and get
Yeah.
on the waiting list now, because I think that everybody deserves that time.
Yeah.
And don't just think about yourself then, think about your other kids as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now they also, for the family support, they do have family camps, as I said, sibling camps, but there's also parent support. They have day activities or weekends away for mums or weekends away for dads. And I was reading there's a dads and kids camp as well, which I think is a really nice idea.
Oh, really?
It's usually the mums that do that, so just because that's just the way it is.
How good would mums' nights be?
I know.
Wow.
I know. Well, I run a support group, as you know, and I mean, we've got to the stage now where we'll go out for dinner or we'll go, and we don't hardly talk about the kids. It's
Didn't
actually
you,
just the
didn't
fact
you
that
get a house?
we've been away before.
I-
And yes, so we barely even talk about the kids half
Yes.
the time because it's gone beyond that, and you do tend to. Well, I mean, I know with us, you tend to form a friendship quite quickly because it's lovely to be with people that get it.
Yes,
So, you know,
definitely.
knowing that you can say things about your kids, and I don't mean in a horrible way, but you can say things and you're not going to be judged, and you're not going to have someone go, oh, I can't believe, you know, like it's just, I get that because I've got the same situation.
Yes.
So it's nice.
But remember, that's where the idea for this came from. When somebody, I texted her and I said, "Oh, to tell you the truth, I don't think Daniel can read," and she texted back and wrote, "Lol, autism mums conversations. You know, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not the same as anybody else's conversations."
That's right. There's also an adult recreational group. Well, there's a few things for adults, which is similar to the kids one, but more adult pursuits thrown in, such as overseas holidays, music festivals, and pub dinners, which sound fantastic.
That is so good because you just
That's such experiences. It's great.
like real experiences, like we had when we were younger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a pub dinner. Seriously, until you have a parmigiana and a beer, I don't think that you can say you're an adult.
Beer, I don't think so. Now, I did ask, because it says 18 to 25s on the website, and I asked about the reason for the cap at 25, and I was told that it's not really capped at 25. It's really more that they started the program when the ones that are now 25 were kids, and it's growing with them.
Okay.
Because I had said, well, obviously they've still got autism in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s, and I said, but we haven't dealt with people from the programs in that situation yet.
Yeah.
So they certainly don't throw them out at 25, which
Yeah,
was
you can't just
my
like
thing, that they'll be very supported and then
gone.
what do we
Yeah.
get? So
So
they
it just
have that.
progresses.
Yeah, exactly. They have something called the Futures program, which provides experiences for school leavers, including adventure programs which build confidence and independence in the outdoors, live-in life skills programs, community volunteering, and ongoing learning and skill development. So it's just fantastic. I love, you know, as I said, Beth's 16, so for me, this is the next thing that we're looking at, and it just sounds great. And we actually had, I'll just talk about this first. Enterprises focuses on vocational experience and learning. They run a few small not-for-profit business enterprises, such as collecting, selling and delivering firewood, mulch, and a gardening, lawn mowing and basic landscaping business. They learn to work in teams in supervised environment. This can be combined. Young adults can work 1 or 2 days a week at the Enterprises job, and the other days learning other skills at the Futures site. And we actually had somebody from Enterprises come out this morning to give us a quote on our backyard, and they're very reasonably priced. And I spoke to them. I've got a friend whose son's got epilepsy, and she was saying they're worried about what his future will hold, and they said, yep, we've got people with epilepsy, we've got special lawnmowers that stop when your hand, if they have a seizure, they just stop because they're a clutch.
Right, yeah.
Lawnmower.
So it works on the pressure.
And Beth's doing horticulture next year, so for us, if she enjoyed it, that would be perfect for her. They've got, and they've got, like the team that's coming out on Thursday to do our backyard, there's 8 of them.
So it's like an apprenticeship of sorts.
Yeah, I just love the idea, and they can adapt to what your child is interested, or your your young adult is interested in. So I mean, even the Live-In Life Skills program, it fosters a little bit of independence, you know. And the thing is that we've got to think of, and you would be thinking of this for Daniel, you'd be thinking, oh, that's way off, and it's a scary prospect. Even for us, and Beth's 16, I keep thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that we're already looking at things like that. But our eventual aim for our children is for them to be independent of us. So scary as it sounds, and much as I would love Beth to live with me for the rest of my life, the reality is that she should die 30 years later or more than me, because I was 30 when I had her. And the aim is that when we die, it doesn't affect their lives as much as what it could.
Not so much when we die or when we become unable to take care of our kids. Because you might end up in a home.
Yeah, probably. I hope so. I quite like the look of some of that stuff.
Oh, I know.
But I just mean, I've heard of some awful stories of people who have looked after their child with autism until they've died, and that child has then gone into some sort of a facility because there's nowhere for them, and they're not prepared for life without their parents.
That is so like, was it Roy from Roy and HG or HG? No, it was Roy, and he was talking about his autistic sister and how his parents refused to take help from the government, and he said that they were quite miserable as a family because the parents were always just focused on.
And the thing is as well is that you know, siblings, you think, well, you know, my other kids have said that they'd be happy to have Beth live with them, which is absolutely lovely of them. But the reality is that they'll have partners, hopefully. And it's a huge burden, and it's not their responsibility. And I've said to them, you know, Beth will be like Uncle Frank, who is our single uncle. You know, she will always have to be at family functions. She will always have to be invited at Christmas and things like that. But you won't have to be responsible for it if I can manage it somehow. And I think that that's the thing with anything like this. I mean, Beth would love to just be at home and playing on her iPad all the time, but that's not good for her. So we need to look at pursuits like this, and we need to, you know, there's always that next step. You know, we were looking at high schools in grade 4, you know, and now Beth's in year 10. We need to look at what's after when school finishes, because it's going to happen like that, and it's going to be there. So I have to look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And places like Interchange do exist, and they're fantastic. And
well, you don't want Beth to be a burden on.
No. And they want her to enjoy her life, and she needs to be challenged, you know, because don't we all?
That's right, exactly.
We all need to be challenged. We all need to be challenged to feel proud of ourselves. So.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, that's it for Interchange. And what we're going to do is, if anybody would like to hear any more about it, we're actually going to go out and interview some people from Interchange. They've kindly said that we can come out, do a little bit of filming and speak to them about their programs. So if there's anything in particular that you would like us to ask, we of course will ask on our own behalves, but let them do the talking really. So I will say to the adult services programs people, you know, Beth is 16, what can you offer? So they can tell me about the adult services, but I will be listening to it as a parent's thing, and you would probably do the same from Daniel with the recreational side of it. But if anyone has got any particular questions that they would like us to ask, we're happy to do so, because that's what we do.
That's what we do, and we'll also have the information available on our website after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how to get on the waiting list too.
Yes, yeah. So we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.